All right, so we're here at the Crescent Dunes concentrated solar power plant in Nevada. We're right outside the town of Tonopah over here. This is one of the first major concentrated solar power facilities in the US. And it's kind of a boondoggle, the whole story of this project. A lot of funds wasted, a lot of engineering delays and problems with the equipment, problems with the molten salt. So basically what we have here is this field of hundreds or thousands of these large mirrors, each one's like the size of the side of a house. And they're each mounted on a motorized mount, and those mounts are controlled from a centralized location automatically. And through the course of the day, these mirrors automatically adjust so that they catch the incoming sunlight and bounce it back to the top of this large tower over here. They all concentrate the sunlight at that point at the top of the tower. You can see the dark section. And what's in there is usually a molten salt. It's some type of medium that can heat to an extremely high temperature. And that molten salt is then circulated down the tower to a building, a facility where it is used to superheat water, to turn water into steam, which then drives a turbine and generates electricity. So this is one of the two major forms of solar power in the world today. And this, like I said, is one of the early designs. It's experienced a lot of delays, a lot of problems. It's currently not operating. The sun's past the horizon, so it wouldn't be generating any power right now, aside from residual heat stored in the molten salt. But this facility has been offline for a while now due to engineering problems and so on. So there's a possibility that they're going to revamp this facility, that they're going to turn it on. It cost, I believe, over $1 billion to build this place, and maybe quite a bit more. I don't have the exact number offhand. But what you see as you drive up to this facility is, first you see right here to this area, you see this massive evaporation pond. And we just passed the sign back over there that says danger sulfuric acid. This is something to do with the water circulating through the heating system. I believe they have to evaporate some sort of chemical waste out of it. And this has been a problem with bird mortality. Birds in the desert trying to get a drink, flying in there and dying. Or flying over this facility and being zapped by the mirrors. At concentrated solar power facilities around the world, you have issues with birds flying into this area and literally getting fried in midair, vaporized. They call them streamers sometimes because they'll come in and they'll glow like a little comet and just disappear in a puff of smoke. This has been an issue at concentrated solar facilities for a long time. And the newest one in this region is Ivanpah, which is further south of Las Vegas, past us down this way. And Ivanpah is operating now. It's an extremely large project, even bigger than this one. And like Ivanpah, this facility started with a relatively healthy native desert ecosystem. And what happened was they came in with bulldozers. They cleared this entire ground, hundreds of acres. I'm not sure exactly how large this site is, but that tower, we could see it from literally 10 miles away as we're driving in across the valley. We're still, I don't know exactly how far from the facility through these rows and rows and rows and rows of these house-sized mirrors. Literally, as far as the eye can see through this, you kind of get lost in the thickets of them. There are hundreds and hundreds of them before we can't even see out the other side from here. So the amount of desert habitat destroyed for the production of a facility like this is pretty serious. And as you can see, large barbed wire fence around the entire area. Animals and wildlife are excluded. The public is excluded. This is public land. This is land that supposedly belongs to the American people that everyone should have access to. But just like oil and gas land and so on, it's leased to these energy companies for, basically nothing in order for them to make a massive profit off public lands. So, and all that, of course, is not even to go into the materials demand to create a facility like this, the amount of energy, the amount of raw material that went into the production of all these mirrors, all the electronics that control them, the motors, the hydraulics, the inverters for the electricity, the control mechanisms, the wiring, the salt, the generator, the steam turbine. everything that it takes to drive this. And then as well, you've got ongoing costs. You've got ongoing issues with water use, for example. You have to use water to clean these mirrors to keep them highly reflective. We're in the desert. It's dusty. You have to clean them regularly. So facilities like this are major water users in an extremely dry region. So there are all kinds of problems with concentrated solar power. It's not an environmental solution by a long shot. And I'm glad to be able to come out here and take a look at this facility and teach you all a little bit about it, because I think we need to keep other people from making the same mistake of ever thinking that something like this is good for the planet.